I turn to my right and I find a guy who loves the sport of baseball more than anybody else, and he loves the New York Yankees as well. Friend of the program back here in studio, star of NYPD Blue and Blue Bloods and so much more. Nick Turturro here on the Rich Eisen Show. Round of applause for our friend.
Pleasure.
Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing better after last night.
Yeah. Well, it's a good start. You know what I mean? It's a good start. It was a win. An easy win, not really an easy win.
Easy.
Wasn't easy.
No,
it wasn't easy. I'm saying easy just to downplay it, because I never felt comfortable the whole freaking game.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, you were off 5 days, 6 days, so they were maybe going to be a little flat. Maybe didn't come out with the same.
Yeah.
You know, because when you're playing every day, you got to be careful with those when you have that little off days. I mean, we needed it, but we needed that win, and Cole was good. It wasn't great against a lineup that didn't take advantage. They had a shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Guardians, you better get a lead on them, because with the arms they have in the pen, I mean, you saw that in that 15-inning banger that they advanced against the Rays. They got people who can throw strikes, and they could throw nasty stuff. So having a lead, thanks to, Anthony Rizzo, and thanks to,
Bader.
I know. Bader hit a home run, and then that kid in right field who made a nice play when Josh Donaldson thought it was a home run.
Yeah.
Later the next at-bat, lets one go through his legs, and that was obviously
I know you like
for
Josh Donaldson, but...
look, man,
I know you like him.
Personally, he's been on the program a long time ago.
But he always does dumb things. You know what I mean? Why does he have to be a bonehead sometimes? And I mean, that's my problem. Like, I like the guy. And they did the whole thing with Tim Anderson, Jackie. I mean, you're not friends.
But let's be honest.
Leave it alone.
Who do you blame more, Donaldson for not running that out, or that guy in right field not pulling a Jeffrey Mayer? Come on, this is the playoffs. Got to start laying out, right?
Donaldson's got to run. You can't showboat it. I know that's the porch, but you can't assume that's a home run. Like, he assumed it. And the first base coach, too. Hey, what are you doing?
One of those guys has to catch it, though. There were four of them right there.
Yeah.
Lean over and interfere, right?
Catch it.
Interfere.
Well, hit the top of the wall. Just stick your hand out.
Just stick your freaking hand out and catch the ball.
Yeah, be a real fan.
I know. What are you doing? Commit.
It's right.
You know what I mean? If you're going to be a fan, commit.
Nick. It's the playoffs.
I know. If it was me, man, you would have seen my face front and center. I was at the Toronto game Monday night. Judges going for 61. He didn't happen that night.
You went to Canada?
Well, I went to Canada. My friend Russell Peters took me.
Okay.
He was invited to throw out a baseball. He knows nothing about baseball.
Yeah.
But he goes, I never saw anybody love the game like you, so I want you to come on the field. So I came on the field with him in Toronto.
Yeah.
And they made me wear a blue jersey with my Yankee stuff, I was like, I can't wear this. I'm going to get... So I left it open. Nobody really caught it. I'm talking about it now. But I said, don't get it twisted. I'm only wearing this crap because I got to go out on the field.
Wait a minute. They wouldn't let you on the field with your Yankee gear?
No.
They made you cover it up with Blue Jay gear?
I didn't cover it up. I left it open, right? So you saw my Yankee jacket, and the thing was open. And, I was right outside the Yankee locker room, which was crazy. I'm waiting for Yankees to come in and out. And Coney came up to me and hugged me, David Cone.
Yeah.
Good guy. He's not afraid of me. That's why I commend you. You have me on MLB Network, these other people. These guys talk to me in private players. I have friends in MLB. But I feel like they're afraid of me. Like I'm a threat. I don't know. Have me on a panel.
Can I?
Why, I'm too wild for them?
You're not wild
No. My son says, I like the wrong sport. Like if I was into football would embrace me. But baseball, very conservative.
I don't know. I mean, football's pretty corporate as well. I mean, but I love your passion.
Thank you. Get me
at Nick Turturro 1. Oh, I mean, I grew up with people like
right.
you.
I saw you at a Yankee game years ago.
When was that?
You were walking around. You were like on ESPN.
Yeah, I was back in the
I
day,
said,
man.
that's that Rich Eisen guy or something.
Yeah.
I think you went like that to me. I was like, hey. I always thought you were a nice guy, but you are a very nice guy.
Thank you. I've been a big fan of yours for many, many years, but I grew up with you, and when I see you on your Twitter feed just going nuts, you take your glasses off. It's interesting that a guy who worked with David Caruso takes glasses off to deliver lines. Of Caruso. Well, Caruso puts the glasses on to deliver his lines. He always reverse engineered it, but that was after he worked with you. But I mean, when it all comes down to it, you're passionate about it.
Right.
You might use some foul language.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't have to drop the F-bombs, but people like it. And
so you give the people what they want.
No, I give them what they want. I'm a man of the people. If you read the tweet, they're like, you are us. I had a guy that was stalking me this year. This is a Yankee fan. It's insane. He got my number. How'd you get my number? I Googled it. You Googled it? I couldn't get rid of the guy. The guy said, listen, we could be friends. He goes, this is about the Yankees. I said, I don't even know you. I was like, the guy wouldn't leave me alone. I don't want to get in.
No, be careful.
No, I know. I mean, I understand.
But you love the game. You love the sport, and you're a diehard fan of the sport.
But I was doing it before there was Twitter. I was doing it before there was any of this stuff. So now there's an outlet for you to vent this stuff. I was doing it when I was a kid. People would knock on the door. My parents would say, he's a little depressed right now. Just come back later. You know what I mean? Let him calm down. You know what I mean? So I was doing this. This is a lifelong thing. My wife says it's like it's really just not good. I don't know.
Well, because you're watching all 162. Now you got game 163 under your belt. So I got Nick Turturro here on the Rich Eisen Show. At Nick Turturro 1. Everyone should follow him on Twitter. It's a lot of fun to watch you go ups and downs. I watched the Dodgers last night. I think, who the hell's going to beat them? You know?
I don't like the Dodgers.
I know you don't, but I mean, good.
They're great. I mean, they're loaded.
I mean, the fact that Trey Turner homered last night, and he's a guy that where people around here are wondering if the Dodgers are going to re-sign him. How the hell do they not?
They should.
Mookie, Trey Turner, Freeman. Then you got what? Sometimes Will Smith's back there. You got Justin Turner, who may be one of the most clutch postseason players around.
Muncy. Will Smith.
Craig Bellinger bats ninth. He was MVP like 3 years ago.
I know. People don't even talk about him anymore.
Gavin Lux, you want somebody from the left side. You throw him in there against Clevenger, and he comes up with a big hit.
Yeah, they're stacked.
How about the Mets, huh? Wow. I didn't want to rub it into the Met fans, douchey Met fans. But I always say that. No, and I could have. I went easy on them. I felt bad for them because I saw.
Well, Buck too, though. You got to have a nice soft spot for Buck.
I feel bad for Buck, man. I thought maybe this might be Buck's chance. I thought the Mets were ready, but they imploded at the end and they never recovered. They never. When the switch turns, you could see it happening.
Now I know this. I know you're one of the most superstitious guys out there. When they brought the Timmy Trumpet guy in person to play the trumpet,
but the Mets are corny. They do that kind of stuff. That's why they're the Mets. You have to understand. I'm from Queens. They are the Mets for a reason. They're not the Yankees. And they do dumb, meet the Mets, greet. Listen to them. They're a Met fan. You look at them. They're Bush League. They really are.
This one right behind you.
I'm sorry, but I grew up fighting, arguing in the street with Met fans, and they're always going to be the Mets. Not that I hate them, but
it sounds like you do.
No, I don't. They're just corny. WOR, and my first game was a Met game. 72, I think. I went to a Met game.
How did you know? Why didn't you? If you grow up
I went to a Yankee game with the Boy Scouts of America in 73.
Yeah.
I don't know, Rich. Something happened. I walked in the stadium and, I had I fell in love. I don't know. I said, this is it. And my friend was Puerto Rican and started taking me to the Bronx, and I was like, I'm in love. They had Bobby Mercer. They weren't even that good yet.
No, 70's about to say 73 is when the Mets were actually good.
The Mets.
Yogi was the manager.
They went to the World Series.
Yeah, and they lost to Reggie.
They lost in 7 games. They were up against Oakland.
I know that.
They were
actually good. So, because my brother was a Jet fan and a Met fan, so I rooted for the Jets. And then I just saw the Mets too. And even though Pat Zachary came to my camp once and signed, I had his autographed Pat Zachary glove. I just I can't root for that team. And then
wasn't he involved in the Seaver trade?
He was involved in the Seaver trade.
Who was the other guy? Steve Henderson.
Oh my God.
Steve Henderson. Pat Zachary. Doug Flynn.
That's it, man.
Is that the trade?
You're
it's weird. I don't remember nothing in my life, and I can remember baseball crap.
But then Catfish showed up. Reggie showed up.
Dan Norman also in the trade.
Dan Norman,
lefty, right? Yeah.
You were asking me before who my favorite Yankee of all time is.
Yeah, who is that? You have a clear-cut one?
I don't.
I know who they are. You have 2.
I would say one for sure.
I have 2.
He has 2. Don Mattingly and Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, Reggie's my boyhood, right? When I'm 7, 8, falling in love with the sport, watching Chris Chambliss go around the bases and everybody spilling out of the stands in 76.
Right.
And then Reggie showing up to stir the drink. And then they won in 77. I was 8 years old at the time.
You were 8 years old?
Yeah, man. And so I fell in love. And then I remember in the 81 World Series when the Yankees lost to the Dodgers and Reggie was going to go, I cried myself to sleep that night that Reggie was leaving the Yankees. And then Mattingly showed up.
Yeah, and he was our
and Mattingly's my daughter's middle name is Mattingly.
really
Hell yeah,
Donnie Baseball.
that's it. And
Yeah.
just seeing him, homer against the Mariners in that '95 series.
You know, he had a leg kick going, and he looked like the old Mattingly in that series.
Right. He homered. And,
I know.
Gary Thorne with that famous call of it on the Baseball Network where he's like,
one of
there
the
it goes.
best.
He goes, let's hang on your hats. Here it is. He
Yeah.
goes, oh, here it goes. And,
I know.
And he homered, and it was just like his playoff moment that we had never seen before. And
Right.
it was amazing. And then, of course, he departs, and Tino shows up, and they win them all. And it's
I know.
Just,
He never got to wreak anything. Kind of like Mercer in a way. Mercer never,
right.
Mercer was a loved Yankee, and he didn't get to enjoy it. And then they brought him back, and he bunted in the World Series into a double play. It was like he had the Maloiki on him or something. I don't know.
So who do you think wins the World Series this year, Nick? What do you got for me?
Well, I think we got a shot, but we got to get by Cleveland, and let's see what Houston, because that place gives me like really agita, and they're inviting me to come this year, so I might go down there.
Who's they?
The Houston Astros.
The Astros are invited.
Well, a radio station is. They like to fool with me. They troll me. They like to mess with me. So I might go in. I might be in the building this
What do
year.
you mean? What are you talking about? Who's
They like to mess with me. They think that they like, well, we love you, Nick. We know you love the Astros. Like, I can't stand you people, but I'll show up. I'll show up, and if maybe I can get it done. I might have to bring some muscle with me. I don't look to fight. I'm just going there to see if I can pull my team.
When you say muscle, you mean mojo. You're not talking about physical.
No, not physical.
You're talking about that you need some muscle.
Right, I need some muscle
to get rid of
the bad.
Get rid of the Altuve Bregman juju.
Yeah, because there's something in that building, Rich. I'm telling you, there's something. There's a cloud in that building.
The Mariner fans saw it firsthand yesterday.
I know. I mean, they had that game.
They had it.
They had that game. That's a disaster. And why that guy ever threw a batting practice pitch is beyond me.
It's unbelievable.
Who's up next? Who's up next? Gurriel? Who's up next?
I don't know who's up
I'm not
next.
letting that guy beat me.
Period. But
Did you see the size of his arms? His arms are like this big.
He's unbelievable.
They're bigger than Judge.
Dude, that's why. And again, I think Costas even said it during the broadcast last night, but he said it much more artfully than the way I'm going to paraphrase it. That, I mean.
No, Bregman's on deck.
Oh, Bregman was on deck? You don't want any piece of him either.
Well, you pick your poison, but I'm not letting that guy beat me.
By the way, that's poison. Bregman is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
They
Tucker
have
right after.
They
him,
have
it's
some
gotta
feud. They have,
emerge, right?
and I know what people say about the cheating and the banging. And
I'm
the
friends
table.
with him.
Everybody's who Bregman?
Yeah.
Bregman's great people.
He's good people.
And he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he's a player.
I think he's in the Hall of Fame, or he's on a trajectory. I think Altuve is clearly on a trajectory going to the Hall of Fame. Verlander's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Dusty Baker might be going to the Hall of Fame.
He might.
I mean,
if he gets a ring,
Got to win one.
he's got to win one. He hasn't won one.
I think he's
Been
going.
close.
I mean, talk about telling the story of the sport all the way from.
Watch out for the Phillies.
What do you think?
I think they could be a surprise team because Bryce Harper, I've always said this guy, I mean, if he gets going, there's always a surprise team. Like last year, Atlanta caught fire. I got a funny feeling there's a team that might sneak in. It could be them. I'm not saying. I'm saying it could be. I had a feeling they were going to beat, the Cardinals. And they did.
They didn't just beat them; they eviscerated them.
Well, that ninth inning,
they erased them.
The guy imploded, and they never recovered.
Yeah,
that guy Halsey, something happened to him. I don't know. That's why the Yankees don't have a closer. I'm worried.
Well, I mean, they should have one because Clay Holmes has the stuff. But I mean, he comes in last night.
Do you know where the ball's going?
I don't know either.
He hit the first guy. I said, "Oh my God!"
I don't know, but I would still ride that train more than Chapman.
I'm with you.
The fact that I will not have to sit and have my emotions placed in the hands of Aroldis Chapman ever again, I am fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I'm good with it.
Yeah,
I'd rather go to battle with this right now. And then obviously Judge's season was one of the most magical sporting rides I've ever been on.
And
in
the
my
Yankees
entire
have
life.
to sign him for life.
Oh, please.
Right?
Of course.
Come on. It cannot happen. So if you're listening,
here's what we're going to do.
They got to sign him.
You want to talk about muscle? You and I together.
Right.
You and I together. Here's what we're going to do. We should have. Should we do this? Let's just do this. Sure. He has no idea what we're talking about.
You're talking about.
Let's have a seance and get in touch with George M. Steinbrenner III. Okay. And tell him your son needs to be contacted by you in the middle of the night.
Right.
Wake him up
Yeah.
in the middle of the night and slap him silly.
Yeah.
And say to him, whatever the hell you need to do, this is what you're doing.
Right.
We're signing the kid. I don't care.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
Can we do it? Can we have a seance?
Yeah, let's do
get
it.
a Ouija board.
I
me
don't
and you.
care. Ouija board. My mother believed in that.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
I mean, because that has to happen.
What if he doesn't want to be there?
He wants to be
Stop
there.
How do you know?
He wants to be
What
there.
if this season was a big FU to them for not paying him in the first place?
He doesn't look like he's wearing that
I don't
around.
think so.
Come on. He's
I've
smiling.
heard rumors that,
Oh.
I don't know. I don't want to say I heard some weird rumor about, but, I don't even know if that's right. So I'm just going to not say that.
What? Oh, you're a deal breaker? Your son is saying off the. Yeah, what's your deal?
I
if
may-
they don't sign, hold on a
I
second.
may
Hold
walk.
on a second.
walk?
Hold on a minute.
I may walk as a Yankee fan.
Your son just off camera
Yeah,
said to
I
say
mean-
here, what's the
Yeah.
deal? It's a deal
That's what's
breaker.
at stake. My fanship. They can't lose this guy. He's the face of the team. He's the heart of the team. He's the second coming of Jeter, only with power. So, if you don't sign Judge, I might be done.
Where are you going to go?
Nowhere. Nowhere. That's where I'm going to go. Nowhere.
Except back here on the show. Round of applause. Another great appearance for Nick Turturro here.
And hey, listen, my son, man, he loves you on the game. What game is it?
Oh, he loves me on Madden.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness
The fan of
gracious.
yours on Madden.
All right,
He's
very
got a
good.
sexy voice. What do you want?
Please tell me you got that as a drop. Very good. Nick Turturro, come back during the later parts of the playoffs. Okay?
Definitely, my pleasure.
Certainly if you go to Houston, we need proof of life.
Yeah, let's hope we can
Boots on the ground.
have something to come back for.
Fantastic.